And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault. It's the Tom Chenault Show. I hope you're all having an unbelievable day. We have got a show for you for the ages, and you are going to absolutely love it. It's going to be fun. Both of these guests are just tremendous people, talented in their own way at a level that you can't believe. You're going to love it, and you're going to understand one thing, that they are speaking at the ANMP, the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, which is coming right around the corner here at the end of the month. And if you aren't going to the ANMP, you are out of your mind. So somebody put the link in there, ANMP 2019. You can't believe it. The tickets cost nothing. The food is unbelievable. 80 different rock star speakers, 78 plus these two. And it's just going to blow your mind. You can't afford not to go. And I want you to go. Garrett McGrath is doing 2 of these shows every day. So he's like totally front running me on being a total radio talk show host, but that's okay by me. So what's happening there, and the reason I'm telling you that is because Adrian Chenault and I are on his show tomorrow at noon Mountain, which is 11 o'clock Pacific. So we are dancing. So Charlie Cina is just one of the most amazing guys. He's been around the ANMP forever. He's one of the guys that gave us unbelievable content, streaming, all that stuff. And I thought that was his only dimension. I had no idea of the track record of this guy. I had no idea he was so smart, so witty, so unbelievably good at sales. And he's written a book. So we're going to talk to him right now. So Charlie, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, Tom. Thanks for having me on the show.
You are so handsome. I can't believe my eyes. I feel very ugly. You're supposed to say, no, you're not talking.
You're a nice man. But
that is so funny. Well, we're going to leave that one out there. So yeah.
I'm married. I'm married.
So Charlie, let me ask you this. Tell us, first of all, tell people about your path to get to where you got to now, because it's interesting, your career path. It's interesting how long it took you to write the book and why you were inspired to write it. I've known you for a very, very long time. You're one of the most persistent sales guys I've ever known. And then Jordan Adler calls me on the phone and says, I'm coming across town with a really, really good guy, one of my good friends, and he was going to introduce you to me. And we walk in the room and it turns out we already knew each other, but you hang out with guys like Jordan Adler too, which is really cool. So just talk about your past a little bit, buddy. Tell us about you.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and always, had a passion for sales. I didn't know it at the time, but, 8, 9, 10 years old, I was knocking doors to, cut lawns or shovel driveways. Then I got paper routes. And I learned at an early age that, the paper route's about distribution. The more papers you deliver, the more money you make, and the more tips you make, and the more envelopes you get at Christmas time. So as I evolved in business and in sales, and I reflected back on my childhood, I really learned at an early age that the more you introduce, the more you produce. And I'm in Nashville right now, just got done with a client who owns car washes. And he brought me in to train his people and help them work his booth. And it's the same concept. People are walking by. How do you stick out your hand? How do you introduce yourself? You have to have your power pitch down and get people's attention. So my evolution went from, knocking doors as a paper boy to going to school for hotel restaurant management. And while I was in school, I sold, to support myself through school. I was in sales positions and never really entered into the hospitality industry because I couldn't make as much in the hospitality industry as I could representing someone's product or service. So I don't like sales. I love sales.
And you're good at it. And you decided that, so tell us about, okay, so where all of you worked, man. You've had like 90 jobs at high level, made a lot of money, became a massive success. Talk to me about what that all looked like.
Well, see, I really consider myself as having one job. I'm a sales professional, and I believe that I've just jumped into different vehicles to generate revenue. So it doesn't matter to me what I sell as long as it can solve somebody's problem and I am 100% certain that the product is going to deliver what I'm representing. So to answer your question, when I first started my sales career, I guess you could say I started selling shoes when I was in high school. And then from selling shoes, I became a waiter. Well, you're selling, you're upselling, right? You're selling the wine, you're selling the desserts. And then I got into selling advertising specialty to contractors, ball caps, T-shirts, hats. And then it really evolved from there. And I went to, when the phone companies deregulated, remember that? Some of the millennials might not remember that are listening, but that was big. I got involved in direct sales for a period of time. I climbed the corporate positions with ACN back when they launched, and was in that field from 95 to like 98. So my whole thing is sales, selling, persuading, piquing people's interest, advertising, marketing. At the end of the day, my whole mission of what I teach is how do you present, how do you position? And when you learn how to present and position, you profit. So if I was to meet you on a plane or a train and you asked me what I did, I would tell you that I empower speakers, trainers, and subject matter experts to monetize their content online, worldwide, in 3 easy steps.
Wow.
Now you're
and somebody takes that bait. They will hear that statement out of your mouth and not think it's a trap. They're going to say, really? Tell me how?
Well, I teach you, Tom, how to present, position, and profit.
Okay.
I'm going to teach you how to present yourself in a way that's unforgettable at the first point of contact. I'm going to teach you how to position yourself online and offline so you become the only logical choice to dominate your space. And then I'm going to teach you how to profit by repackaging and or repurposing the existing products and services that you have so you can drive massive revenue and create multiple revenue streams. Ultimately, Tom, I want to help you create client relationships for life.
Okay. How could it? That seems like that's completely useless for network marketers.
No, it is not.
I was kidding.
Wait a minute. That's Tom.
God, that is so funny. Yeah, no, it's tremendous. Marketers. What network marketer wouldn't want that? So talk about how you're driving that in, obviously at the ANFP, how you're driving that in.
Well, here's the deal. The book I wrote is Expose and Close, right?
Right.
But when I say expose and close, the whole purpose for me writing the book, short story, is a guy showed up at my office unannounced, and the receptionist came in and said, Charlie, there's a young guy here, he wants to talk to you. I said, what's his name? Andy. I didn't know the guy. He saw me do a Facebook Live. He heard me tell my story about how I went in and through a cold call closed John Taffer. Do you know John Taffer from the show
Yes.
Bar Rescue?
Of course.
So I went into his office. I had my power pitch down, rang the bell. I'm always suited up, at least in a sport coat. And I walked in, and the girl said, can I help you? I said, I'm here to see John. She said, do you have an appointment? No, I don't. Well, what's it in reference to? I empower celebrity people like John to monetize their content online, and I want to talk to him about a potential revenue generator where he can do an on-demand program and essentially create money while he sleeps. Long story short, I got from the receptionist to the vice president of the company to John, and in 3 days, acquired him as a client. What I'm trying to impress upon everybody, my whole concept is when you expose, you close. When you know how to present yourself in a way that's unforgettable at the first point of contact, you get people's attention. Then when you get their attention and they understand exactly what you do, they will ask you how you can help them. And then when they ask you how you can help them and you tell them, you're essentially setting up the appointment, and now you're engaged in the sales process. So my whole thing with expose and close is 80% of the sale can be gotten through one word. If you've heard the phrase, you had me at
hello.
And that's what I teach people how to do. Now, sometimes you can get people at hello, And then how do you follow up and follow through? And then I teach people all the tips, strategies, and techniques that I use to stay top of mind and ultimately build the relationship, for lack of a term, to close a deal, to build a relationship, to collaborate with another individual or another company.
I love that. We're going to take a little break. So if we go to exposeandclose.com, we're going to find your website, your book. People are going to be able to buy it, the whole shot, correct?
Exposeandclose.com, or you can go to charliechina.com, C-I-N-A.
Right. And this is the book. And I have been looking for it for literally, I read it, and then I let Marianne borrow it, and she probably gave it to James. It's been gone. So fortunately, you gave one to Adrian, and he brought it in to me just now. This book, it's unbelievable. People came in my office, they left all the money, and they stole the book. That's how important it is. You got to have this book. Go to that during the break. We'll be right back, right after this. And we're back.
Hey, Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
Brother, how you doing?
I'm good, man. It was great meeting you in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, well, absolutely. How's things?
Yeah, really good, really good. I love what you're doing and the wisdom that you shared so far. And the thing you said that was interesting to me earlier that I want you to unpack a little bit, if you would,
Sure.
is what does it mean to you to create customers for life, and what does that relationship look like?
Well, I use the word customers, but in my book, I actually have a chapter called, customers versus clients, because to me, customer is a little bit shallow of a word. Customers usually come into your place of business, buy a product or service, and leave, and there's no connection. But if you're in the direct sales business in any way, shape, or form, or you're providing a service or a high-priced product, I believe that you should turn your customer into a client. And the difference is, if you look at the definition, a client is someone that does business with you, but that seeks you out for counsel. So you're constantly educating that customer on your product and service and building value. So one of my mantras is educate, elevate, dominate, right? When you educate your customer, when you educate your employees, most importantly, when you educate yourself, you can elevate yourself, and then you can dominate your space or dominate your game. And then once you have that education and you're elevating and dominating, now you're paying it forward, right? Now I can educate Tom. Well, I don't know if I can educate Tom because he's so smart. But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
smart and not old.
There you go. Listen, I get it. But that's what I'm saying. So how do you educate, elevate, dominate? You need to educate your customers, because when you're giving your customers an education and you're mentoring them on the products or services or how to leverage the products or services, man, now you've changed the whole dynamic of that relationship. And now it's not a price issue. They're not going to leave you over a couple dollars, or they're not going to leave you because there's some other shiny object. They're going to stay on with you long term.
And how important is it to know your client in order to build that kind of relationship?
Well, I think, again, I think that's everything. And I think not only is it important for you to know your client, it's important for your client to know you. That's why I believe if everyone could properly master their power pitch, right, that's just embedded at hello.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You've made that first impression. It's like when you meet somebody, a significant other, right? Man, I saw her, but again, it's a relationship. It's a personal relationship, right? But so is business. People say business isn't personal. I believe business is very personal. Some people preach out there, business is business. My customers aren't my friends. I personally don't agree with that, right? If someone trusts me enough to give me their money, right, because of a product or service I provide, and they're giving me that kind of trust, I mean, business is business, but I'm also there to be an asset and to be their friend, and again, to build a client relationship for life.
Is there an app for that?
If there was, my friend, I wouldn't be on this call right now, or if I was, I'd be in Fiji.
All right.
Go to Fiji, but first go to contactmapping.com. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank you for the soundbite. We're coming back right after this. We'll be right back. And we're back. It is Tom Chenault, and it is the Tom Chenault Show. It is a great day. Charlie Cina has written a tremendous book called Expose and Close. I hope you went to the website. This guy is a beast. And right after that, we're going to have the one and only Dana McGrady on here. And she is just a character at a level you can't believe. So start getting the word out that she's coming on, because she's got a major surprise for you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fired up. And so take it away. What's going, Charlie, let's go back to your book. Let's go back to how it pertains to network marketing, how it pertains to the ANMP. Let's go from there. What do you have?
Well, here's the funny thing. I don't know. You know Ryan Higgins? He's always at the ANMP. I actually met him at the ANMP a couple of years ago.
Of course, I love Ryan Higgins.
Yeah,
and
yep. Say again?
And Angel Fletcher.
Yes, yes. So I met Ryan several years ago because he fancies plaid jackets like me. He loves plaid jackets. So I commented on his jacket. We hit it off. Long story short, I ran into him at the Eric Worre event in December. He was in line getting some lunch at the food court. I said, hey, man, Merry Christmas. And I pulled out an unedited proof of my book. And I said, hey, when you've got nothing better to do, take a look at that. Maybe I can shed some light. He said, no, man, I'll read it. So like anything, right, everyone tells you they're going to read your book. I shake his hand, wish him a Merry Christmas. Well, 6 weeks later, he calls me back and says, he actually reaches out to me on Facebook, and he says, Charlie, I loved your book. I replied, man, awesome, Ryan, glad it brought you value, happy you liked it. Long story short, he said, I need more. I said, how many do you need? He said, 50 to start. And I shipped him 50 books. Why I'm telling you this story is because I wrote the book. I'm in the network marketing space, but when I wrote it, I really didn't realize how relevant it was to the direct sales and network marketing industry. Like it's perfectly obviously positioned, which obviously, got you to invite me on the show. But at the end of the day, the book really discusses simple strategy, again, to present, position, and profit. And ultimately, I teach people what their intention should be when they wake up in the morning.
Right.
See, I say the following. It should be, whether you're in network marketing, a chiropractor, doesn't matter. What people miss is we're all in the distribution business, right? We all distribute some product or service. That's the vehicle that allows us to generate revenue. So it should be your intention when you wake up in the morning to get attention. Then once you get people's attention, you want to get them to pay attention. And then once you get them to pay attention, you've got your power pitch down, you know how to position yourself. Eventually, they'll pay you for your attention. So it's not really a nursery rhyme. That's not the intent, but intention to get attention, then people will pay attention, and then people will pay you for your attention long term. So again, I just give each chapter in the book, Tom. I think my longest chapter is 4 pages.
They're short. Amen to that.
Yeah, like me, 5, 8.5 on a good day. But that was by design. Like I wanted people to read it, right? Whether it was 1 chapter, 2 chapters, and then immediately be able to go out and make the moves. I wanted to give people the mindset. I wanted to give them their mission, and then I wanted to give them simple moves and techniques that they can go out to the world, implement, and see results from.
There's no doubt about it. What do you think about the ANMP? Why are you so pumped up about that?
Well, I'm pumped up about the ANMP, number one, because of the people there. Number one, it's a group of like-minded people that are there to produce, that are there to learn, that are there to share best practices. That's number one. Number two, why I'm there is because the alliances, the partnership alliances that are there are incredible. And, Garrett and his team and all the, board members there and people that are involved do just a great job at bringing people in really from all over the world that are sharing their secrets essentially, or what works for them. So it's really a dynamic group. And I really think overall it's good. It's good for the industry. It's just a good representation of solid people, and it's good for the industry.
Well, I think you're good for the industry. I think your book is good for the industry. I think that your insights and your service over the years has been good for the industry. I like everything about you. I like the fact that you give other people the chance to shine, but you're always training. And I think your book is something that every network marketer could use. And if you get time, go to exposeandclose.com. I can't believe he even got that name at this late date in life. He must have paid about $100,000 for it. But you want to get this book, go to that website. He will train you. He will teach you. It will be fun. He's a bright guy. And I don't know if he does individual coaching or not. He's probably way, way, way too important for that. But if he does,
I actually do. In fact, that, believe it or not, the company that brought me out here, the owner, I coached personally, and then he brought me in to coach.
You think I didn't say that without knowing the answer? We're coming right back right after this. This is the Tom Chenault Show. And we're back. We got Adrian is back with us. So Charlie, look at your phone. And then at the end of the day, you guys, I want you to meet Adrian Chenault. This is the kid behind this incredible app called Contact Mapping. After this show, I'm going to post an interview that we did with Fraser Brooks yesterday. I just got permission from Fraser that is going to blow your head off about contact mapping and what it's doing to change the world. And little Kate Edwards, I want to give you a personal shout out. On that show, a couple of times we talked about firing your brain and hiring your heart. And I'll be darned if she didn't do a great big presentation today. And the title of it was Fire Your Brain, Hire Your Heart. That's all I want you people to do. If they just turned on Dana McGrady's camera, and it's obviously she was startled and we woke her up. That was exciting. And we're coming back. Hello, Adrian Chenault. Oh, it's on a special monitor. You guys didn't get to see that. That was so hilarious. What? Where am I? So I have no idea what she was doing last night, but we got her back and she's going to be on the show and she's going to be just fine. But talk about contact mapping a little bit.
Yeah. Contact mapping is, I think, really that a huge ingredient in that idea that you're going to create clients for life, and you're going to create people that are more than just clients, that are people that come and seek you out, not because of what you can sell them, not even because of what you know, but because of how you care about them and how you make them feel and the way that you build them up. And we make it really, really easy to do that because we all know we should do that. We all want to be better friends. We all want to be better listeners. We all want to be better at follow-up. And the thing that stops us is not the fact that we didn't know we should do it. It's the fact that life gets in the way, and the business cards pile up and the notebooks are over here and that Excel spreadsheet, who knows what happened to that. And what we set out to do is build a really simple, easy to use smartphone app that takes all that away from you and just allows you to be connected, to speak the things that you want to remember about every person that you meet into your phone so you remember those things, and to make sure you follow up so that nobody ever falls through the cracks again. Because our life is littered with people that we have allowed to fall through the cracks that we really liked and that we really wanted to follow up with, but almost all of us really, really struggle with following up well. And contact mapping is going to make it easy for you to do all those things in a way you've never done before. And it's not a rocket science thing. It's a really, really easy, simple to follow system. And so you need to check it out, and you get to try it for 30 days for free. So that's at contactmapping.com. And it's pretty powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, we did it. And how about you? I mean, you looked at it, Charlie. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I was amazed. I mean, we were sitting there in the Paris and you showed it to me, and I told you straight up, I mean, that is the key, man. If you can help people connect, the fortune is definitely in the follow-up. And when I say fortune, I'm just not pertaining to, monetary fortune. I mean, the powers and networks and who people know and how you can collaborate. So I thought the tool was incredible.
We appreciate you more than you're ever going to know, and all of you. And I appreciate you. I feel like I've known you all your life. That's my favorite joke. Every week I used to say, I just think it's hilarious. He doesn't think it's so funny.
What I love is he gives you the courtcy laugh, though. Yeah, what a good son, huh? You give him the smile, the courtesy laugh. You're a good guy, man.
Under the table, Charlie. That's what you don't see.
So right after this, we're going to come back with Dana McGrady, and it will be great. She's got a surprise for us. She is she's just a great kid. She made a deal with me. She has reneged on, but I never renege on a deal. So I've got a little surprise coming up for you guys when we come back on the show right after this. contact mapping. You're going to speak tomorrow on Garrett's Live. Yep. You and I. That's going to be fun.
Thursday.
And then you've got tomorrow.
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 Right, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Great.
It's for sure tomorrow. So, and on top of that, and then that little guy, Matthew Rosa, is on Thursday.
Oh, fantastic.
On the same show.
Oh,
so you guys need to know that. You want to be watching those things with Garrett. They are rocking good. Yeah. And it's going to be tremendous. I can't wait. And anything else you want to say about contact mapping? You're going to have a booth at the ANMP.
Yeah, we're going to have a huge presence at the ANMP. We just ordered a whole bunch of swag, so we're excited to get to.
Oh, we'll give you a new T-shirt.
People and get a T-shirt,
a straw,
a pin, all kinds of cool stuff.
He wants to give away a reusable straw. Does that sound disgusting enough? Because nobody wants to litter the planet or something. That's I voted against it. Let's trash it. But I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be around that much longer. Mess it up as much as you want. We're coming back right after this. Thank you, Charlie.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right. And we're back. And boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you. So, I don't know about your marriage, but one thing you do need to know about Denise Chenault is she is a role player at a major league level. So Dana McGrady realized that and made me wear a hat for this show. But I live in Colorado, so I realized I did not have a cowboy hat in Colorado. So this is a hat that I bought in Argentina. You've never been there, Dana, I know that, but it's quite a country. And at the end of the day, I got this hat, and it's unbelievable. And this is an original Argentinian hat. So anyway, she's got her hat on, role player that she is. I have no idea why we're doing this. She is one of the great network marketers that I know. All vim and vinegar. She's a good friend of my buddy, David Litt. And I just love this kid's energy. And you just think nobody can have that much energy and have any brains. But what you don't get on this whole deal is it's Dr. Dana McGrady. And she's not only an unbelievable doctor and a naturopathic doctor and a health provider, but at the same time, on top of that, she is one accomplished little network marketer, social media girl. She has got it all, and she's just a ball of fire. How are you, Dana?
Oh, Tom.
Oh, Dana.
I heart contact mapping. Heart. Heart.
That makes me very, very happy. So tell me about you. You're living, you just bought a new mansion. You built it. Life is good. You're having fun with your life. You love your network marketing business. You're traveling all over the place. You're helping people with their sore toes, but you're also helping them with their pocketbook. Pretty good stuff, right?
Yes, I am. So tell me, how much fun are we going to have at the ANMP?
The ANMP is going to be tremendous. I mean, it is. Yeah. Are you going to Vegas this weekend?
No.
All right, you didn't get invited to Eric's party. I'm very, very sorry about that, but that's okay. Fraser Brooks is coming all the way from Germany, and that he was the last guy on the list, so he got your last. You were the one below that, and if he'd have canceled, you were invited.
I mean, I could. No, I have nothing to say about that.
That is so exciting. I do. I set that up. I told you I was going to have a tremendous amount of fun with you, and here's the deal. I have some late breaking news.
What is it?
One of the great speakers in network marketing is a woman named Tiffany Malott. And if you've never heard her speak, she brought Magic Johnson to his knees. And I am telling you, I saw it happen at GoPro. I couldn't believe my eyes. Previous to that, I had seen her do a couple of speeches with some luggage that was unbelievable. This woman rocks and rolls, and she retired out of the network marketing business for a greater purpose called this magazine she's doing. So we were trying like crazy. She's busier than a one-arm paper hanger. We were trying like crazy to get her to come to the ANMP. And not only did she agree to come, she's going to have a booth for her new magazine, and she's going to be the second to the last closing speaker on Sunday right in front of Jordan Adler. And that is unbelievable. When you come to the ANMP, you got to be in the room till noon because they are stacking the deck at the bottom, the back. And Tiffany and Jordan are going to bring the rain, and you need to be there. Dana's speaking. It will be insane. And that's all I've got to say on that, right, Dana?
Yeah, no, I love Tiffany and I love Jordan. Jordan's a buddy of mine. Yeah, they're gonna bring it. I love Tiffany so much. She's incredible. And I know you're.
Yeah, she's in the cool girl club like you. So let's talk about you a little bit. And let's talk.
Do you think she'll wear a cowboy hat on stage? What's that?
No. She's not that cool.
She's
we don't.
Cool
No. She's about here, and you and I are way up here. So that's exactly right. So tell me a story about you. I want to know how on earth an accomplished naturopathic doctor, unbelievable mother, ended up in this business making such a huge difference. What's that all about? How'd you do that?
You let me know when I can take my cowboy hat off, or I'll keep it on.
Take it off.
I can hang. Okay, good. Woo! Good. Now we're free. Okay, so I had no time for them. And that's the true wealth in this business is time freedom. We don't have any way of measuring the time when it's gone. Our kids grow up, Adrian, I'm sure you remember Adrian as a tiny little baby boy. Like, I just picked up my 4-year-old at school and they're only that little, and then they're gone and they're old in seconds. And so I was just recognizing that they were growing, and I was with sick patients, and I've been working with cancer patients at that point 11 years. And it was just nonstop at the clinic, sucking all my emotional energy. And I was realizing that I had no time freedom. And so I had, whenever this, just like most network marketing opportunities, they fall in people's laps when they're ready for them. So I was at the point where I wasn't getting to see my babies grow up. I needed some way to build a residual income online in something that I'm passionate about and believe in. And when you find the right person at the right time, there's basically nothing you can say wrong to them because their heart and their mind are open to it, and they're needing to jump all in. They have a big why, and that was just basically my perfect storm of how I found network marketing. I needed that time freedom, and now I have way too much time freedom, and now I need a babysitter. So if you want to babysit for me, Tom, that would be great.
Nope. I want to hang with you. I don't want to be there with those kids, even though I love little kids more than I love adults. But I am telling you, I have watched you around people, and I have watched the energy you bring. You came to Colorado. We drove around in my Jeep. We went to Two Dog Diner with all your leaders, laughed our fingers to the bones. I mean, it was really, really cool watching you in your element, because you make it fun and you give help to your people and you travel to them and show them that having a life of freedom, of time, of money, and of health is possible, right? That kind of who you are?
100%. Yeah, because here's the deal. If you're launching a new area and you're not prepared as a leader to have basically a room in their house to live with them, right? You basically have to live on their living room floor for a while to launch that new area. If you're not willing to sacrifice that, then there's no point, in launching a new area. Stay local if that's the case. But I do believe you can do some things in social media, but you have to be with people. You have to see them, look in their eyes. You have to make friendships. You have to build those relationships.
What's the longest you've ever stayed in a city helping a leader build?
I've stayed a week, but I don't stay longer than a week, but I'll come back every 6 weeks, right? So if you come back every 6 weeks, if you're committed to that area and you come every 6 to 8 weeks and you're making them do events and build around you coming, that to me is going to help bring energy into that and life into that area, right? And help them build online too.
I wonder, I know a lot of people, that, and I can tell you, the thought of having Tom Chenault stay at their house for a week, they would blow their brains out. Didn't they want to just kill themselves after you were there like 2 or 3 days because you were like eating all their food? Or did they like you? I can't even imagine that. That's really cool that you do that. There's a woman out there named Sandy Ellsberg who's, I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She wrote a book called Breadwinner, Bread Baker. And that's what she used to do. And she got to the top of 7 companies. And I've never done that, but people like you that have got unbelievable self-esteem and no bathroom issues or anything like that, like I have, I guarantee I couldn't do it. My hat's off. My hat's already off to you. So that's cool.
But the one thing you do, Tom, that I love is you are on the phone every morning, 6 a.m. while you're walking to AA and you're talking to your leaders. Yeah. And you're calling people. And the one thing I've had that every network marketing leader has experienced is I've had people leave. And when leaders leave, and you realize that you could have prevented it by picking up the phone and calling them more often and keeping those relationships alive, then you learn a lesson as a leader. And that's one lesson I learned from you is every morning you're looking like a homeless man walking to AA and you're on the phone with your leaders every morning, calling your leaders up. And so that's one lesson I remember you taught me that always stuck with me.
That's my speed dialer, everybody, right there. And that's the picture of all my leaders. And those are the people I call before anybody. I want to call them before Dana McGrady calls them. I want these people knowing it, because people don't leave your business, folks. You run them off and then you blame them for leaving. They'll put up with a bad comp plan. They'll put up with bad products. They'll put up with bad everything. They won't put up with you not loving and appreciating them. And then I go right over and I'm not trying to do a plug here, but it's kind of a plug. That's app number 1 that I use. And then app number 2 right there on the bottom is my contact mapping app. And there's Troy Dooley, first in line. There's Laura Scrooby. These people are on there. They're on a rotation. And there's all I do is every morning that you get a call from me and a lot. You don't realize it's on a rotation. And I just call Dana on the Sky Blue and say, I love you. And she goes, oh, Tom, I love you too. Thanks for thinking of me. And I want to say, well, why didn't you call me first if you love me so much? But she doesn't do it because she doesn't have the app. But that's the way that goes. We'll get to that after a while. I will not even mention contactmapping.com. So go back to that. That's all we want, right? We want to be loved.
Well, that's exactly it. Because if they feel loved and appreciated and respected and valued, they'll never leave. They'll never leave. And so here's the one thing I was going to say is when I first met you, the very first time I met you, Tom, I don't know if you remember it because you meet so many people, but I remember it. And you did, this is before contact mapping was an app, but you did contact mapping with me. You basically met me. We took a selfie. You posted the photo on Facebook, tagged me in it. So smart. And then you put my contact in your phone and you voice texted yourself how you would remember me.
That's exactly, that was before the app existed. Yeah.
Yeah. And that always stuck with me because how many people do we put their contact info in our phone? We don't take their pictures and we don't put notes and then we forget about them forever and they go into the abyss, the black hole of forever contacts that fell through the cracks, right?
Yeah.
So that was a lesson you taught me. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I feel very, very good about that. I'm looking at all the notes that I wrote on you that day.
Were they all on point?
Yeah, right.
Did they say that?
Can't read that one. Can't read that one. Can't read that one.
Was a cowgirl? Did it say that I was a cowgirl?
Yep, that's what it was. And then we rented that baby from one of your friends, Whitney husband, and we carried that around the whole day and acted like it was our child. That was unbelievable, and all kinds of fun things that have happened with my buddy Dana McGrady. I love her. We're coming back right after this. It is the Tom Chenault Show. Hello, Adrian. Say hi to Dana.
Hi, Dana.
Hi, Adrian. How you doing?
You got the hat on. Come on, man. I thought you were a man of your word.
I have been wearing it. It just makes my face look so
on,
Look at my face. You wear it.
Yeah, here we go.
That's good. Adrian looks good. He's not self-conscious. His dad is.
Looking good.
Party.
I love it.
And how about Tiffany Malott? Is that exciting enough about her coming on?
I'm super excited, and I love that Jordan's closing out the event. Like, that's gonna be good. I'm super excited. So
Nobody's
can you find out when I'm going to be speaking for me? Find out for me, buddy. Oh, pal.
What'd you just say?
Find out when I'm going to be speaking.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, geez, I don't even see your name. I've already gone through the whole list. I think we forgot you. No, I'm kidding.
I'm going to be showing up at Eric's house this weekend.
Yeah.
Say, Tom said I was on the list.
My connection's so bad over here that I can't tell I can't read the comments, you guys. I usually am like hamming it up with you, but something's going on and James is plugging stuff in and unplugging it and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So I can't tell who's here. So I'm sorry about that. Contact mapping.
James is making.
Did you hear the plug on contact mapping she gave you?
That was an incredible, well, what a cool story that, you know, contact mapping before it even existed, and the way that was the formation of your guys' friendship and how that kind of carries forward to this day, right?
Yeah, because she's kind of a forgettable girl. So I had to do it because I just wanted to make darn sure, because, you know, her teeth are so, look at that. She's a good kid.
She is.
I didn't want to forget her.
She's very important, and she learned how to make others feel the same way.
Good mother.
Can't beat that.
No, she's the best. So tell me what else. Do you want to do it? I mean, you're acting a little shy here. Do you want to, you're the sponsor of the show.
I am the sponsor of the show. I'm glad you recognize that. So, so Contact Mapping is the sponsor of the Tom Chenault radio show, the lone sponsor.
Yep.
And we're very proud of that. And we feel very blessed to get to be on the show every week. And Dana, I just want to ask you, you know, what's your number one tip for how you build relationships with people, not even just in your network marketing business, but just out there in life as you're making new friends and making new connections?
So I loved one of the things you said in the last commercial about contact mapping. You said that it's about making people feel special and making people feel heard and making people feel important, even when maybe they're not feeling that way in other areas of their life. So you make people feel important and loved and valued. And you can do that with contact mapping by helping you not forget. Life is busy. And that's what it is. It's just making it easy to not forget. I can't take you serious with that hat on, Adrian.
I know. It's actually, I'm really sweating. So that gives me an excuse to take it off. It's that's a very warm hat. I don't know how the Argentines handle their heads being so hot while wearing that hat.
And we've got all kinds of common denominators that go deeper than a superficial relationship, Dana. That
we do.
And for me to remember that stuff, because I know what's important to you, like the loss of your dad, I mean, those were tough times for you. And people coming into your life and you were able to draw upon deep friendships that you developed in this profession to get through a very dark time in your life because your dad was that important. And I love that. And I love you for your vulnerability through all that because it was a tough time. And thank you.
It definitely was. It definitely was probably the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my whole life. And we do go through tough times in this profession. And the profession ends up being a gift because it allows us to take the time that we need to heal and our bills still get paid, right? And we can take time off as needed because we're developing leaders in this business. It's a leadership development program. So if you develop leaders, you can take the time to heal when tragedy strikes.
And just think that what you're going to be able to do is continue your dad's legacy with your own power through your children and keep the ball rolling and never break that chain because you've got financial and time freedom to be able to focus on that instead of leaving them to some goofball to raise them that has not got anywhere near the same type of integrity and standards you do. Every day for you can be take your children to work day if you want to. Don't you love that?
Yes, I do love it. It's every day is going to be take my kids and drop them off at Tom Chenault's house.
Yeah, they could go
there could be some very dangerous character formation side effects there. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
You got to remember, I was his dad, you know, and I was and still am. But it was crazy stuff. You know, one day Courtney wakes up in the morning and she goes, "Daddy, what's that truck? Why is that truck taking our Jeep away?" And it was the repo man, you know, and, you know, this business is hard. Don't anybody think it isn't hard. But I'll tell you one thing right now, these kids saw me work for money every day. They saw me live and die for money every day. They saw the highs, they saw the lows. And as a result, they've got a respect for work and for money that nobody I know's kids have, because it is something, you know, when in normal business, moms and dads just disappear in the morning and come home at night exhausted and mad. It's a whole different ball game here. I was exhausted and mad all day long with them. It was awesome.
That's perfect sense. I'm glad you took it.
Yeah. So yeah, so you're blessed. You don't have any idea the future that lies. You're going to be able to, you know, my grandkids, his kids go, I want to see the pyramids. And I go, let's go to Egypt. That's what we're going to be doing. And that's you, sweetheart. And think about how many people that you can take to that mountain with you. Single moms, moms struggling, professional moms that want to be with their kids. Talk about your book a little bit, Mrs. Book Plugger.
Yes, it's Magnetic Soulpreneur.
We put the website in.
The website is magneticsoulpreneur.com. And it's all about building a business with heart and soul. Network marketing, you have to have your heart in it. And I know you always say, bring the business from your head to your heart. And that's when it really becomes real to you. And the fact of the matter is, if you're we have so many people that are just trying to launch their business. They're just trying to launch their network marketing business, and they're struggling, and they're not knowing really how to get footing. And they're worried that other people are going to be making fun of them or thinking bad of them, or they can't figure out the influence part. And so when you have your heart in it, that's your influence over people, because they can feel that you're genuine. They can feel that you add value to the marketplace. They can feel that you're taking them with you on your rocket ship to the top of the mountain. And then you can have those stories, right? You're going to be sharing those stories with people and selling through stories. And when you're doing that, people recognize that it's not just about sales. It's about changing lives and about impacting the world in a better place. And it gets so much bigger than them. Everyone wants to be a part of something bigger than them. And so that's what it's all about. And a whole lot of fun.
I want to buy a few of your books, and I want to give one of them to my little buddy, Cynthia Flores. This woman is unbelievable. She lived in Mexico, and she lived in El Paso, Texas. And she decided she was going to build a business. And she and her husband, Daniel, just drove all over the place. Their truck got stolen. She lived in the back of the truck. It was an unbelievable battle. Now she's got homes in Mexico and in the United States. She's pregnant with twins. She is the ultimate success story. And she reminds me a lot of you, Dana. She has got more vim and vigor. She's listening to the show. I just saw her sign on. I hope she didn't just see it was me and turn it back off again. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Your kind of success story, Dana, who you are, inspires everybody. And don't turn off that light. Make it bigger all the time. The fact that you're speaking at ANMP, soon to speak at GoPro, soon to speak over in Amsterdam, and take your kids. You know, we were in Amsterdam with Sperry and with Ted Knighton and with Armand and all those people and his family. It was crazy. We saw the Tulip Festival. That's what you're looking at with this business. So cool.
Yeah, I'm going to actually be speaking for my very first time in Germany. And the weekend after ANMP. And so I'm going to have to deal with, 2 hours, 1 hour is my part, another hour added on for translation. Wow. Yeah, I need your advice on that. And then doing that 2 days in a row, 1 hour for my speech, but every minute you stop and you let them translate. So I need to know how to not have the awkward pause, like looking at so you need to teach me.
You poor woman, you're going to have to work.
What do you do?
You're going to have to work 2 hours that day. That is so funny. You have got it made in the shade, kid. I love you. We love you. You have been an incredible guest. I have no idea who we have on next week. Nobody's told me yet, but it's going to be 2 more people from, obviously, maybe Jordan Adler. He might be coming up.
That'd be awesome. And
we'll be reporting live from Eric's party this week. Sorry, Dana. It'll be awesome.
I'm coming. You said I could be on the list.
We're back right after this. All right, the show's over. This is really exciting because this is the show after the show. And Dana, is there anything you really wanted to say?
I wanted to say yeehaw, and I want to say treat your network marketing business like a rodeo.
That's a good one.
Yes, you got to ride the bull hard when you're launching your business. You just have to treat your business like a rodeo, right? You got to like cheer on your people, and you have to love on everyone, and you've got to make it fun, bring the fun factor, and you've got to make sure you take care of your people, and you'll be fine. And develop leaders, develop other bull riders too.
Isn't looking good and looking professional? I know you primp like crazy. That isn't what I'm talking about, because I don't primp like crazy. But looking good is way overrated. Vulnerability, authenticity is 10 times better than this exterior we're all trying to put out about everything being hunky and dory, because it's never hunky dory. It's just showing up, showing up, showing up, right?
I mean, here's the deal is if you can't tell people and show people your pain, then you're never going to let them in, right? And if you don't let them in, you can't go on this journey with them. And so they have to know that you struggled. They have to know that you wanted to give up 50 times. They have to know that you had leaders that left. You know, they have to know that you've had to build it over it again, and you have to rebuild, and you have to find new legs, and you have to help people through their struggles. They have to know the hard things. They have to know, you know, the tragedies you've gone through in life while you're building this business. And they have to know that you didn't quit no matter what.
No question, because you're going to want to quit. You've wanted to quit. I've seen you completely worn out before and at the end of your rope for all kinds of reasons, but you never quit. And here you are at a different stage of your life where quitting isn't an option because things are going well enough. You've got a new house, you got a new life, you're doing the things that are necessary. And had you quit and gone back and sold yourself out back to that whole deal because it was comfortable, you would have hated yourself forever. I love that. And how about you? I mean,
I just think that how about me?
He's not real quick on the uptake, this kid.
I think it's completely true. And I think that when you're a physician, when you have all these things that from an outsider's perspective are that you have going for you, and yet you realize that it's opening up and being real and being who you are, that's what allows you to be successful in this business. I think that's actually one of the hardest things about this business for some people to get at the beginning. But once you get it, it's the most freeing thing in the world because you get to be your authentic self instead of having to carry around all those masks all the time. And so I think it's really cool that you embody that, Dana.
And so let me ask you one question. Yeah. So Adrian came out of corporate America. He lived in Zurich, Switzerland. He was in charge financially for all these countries, giant company. And what's so hilarious about that is he would work like crazy, going over to Germany, going over to Hong Kong, going to Australia, going to London, and he was constantly on the road. So now he's here in Longmont, and he's got these 3 little kids who are just awesome. I feel like I've known them all their life, and they are the cutest kids in the world, but they are like terrorizing him. And I just want to ask you one question.
Tell me.
How did you ever have time to work at that job?
That's crazy, man. It's but it's like you become a part of their lives. I like the way I got away with it before is that I wasn't a part of their life, and I just missed all this stuff. And it's my life is so much crazier now, but it's so much better now. And I could never go back. I could never walk away from having that time with them. And our little guy threw up today, and so I got to go buy him Pedialyte, and it's just like you just go and do it.
Yeah. And, you and Rick, this kid that his partner's got a PhD from MIT. And these are these guys will not stop working. And they're like you, and what I want everybody to have is such life balance. It's not that important to work 23 hours a day and not see your family. And I'm looking at your face, Dana, and I know you agree because you've been on both sides of the spectrum and now you're far on the side of the good. And I am so completely proud of you. And I think that you can lead so many women. Do they find you over at the Magnetic Soulpreneur? Is that where they find you?
Yeah, magneticsoulpreneur.com. Find me on Facebook. Be my friend on Facebook. Be my friend on Instagram, Dr. Dana McGrady. Be my friend on social media. I mean, just as you were saying that, Adrian, I'm literally hearing my kids, like, they're probably killing each other. They're like ninja fighting outside my door.
I smell smoke. This is not good.
It's like they're Pedialyte and all that stuff. And I'm like thinking I need to get neck braces for them when I get out. But it's like, I'd rather be here because you're right. What you said, Tom, letting someone else random raise your kids that might not have your level of integrity or might not be feeding them healthy foods and yeah, it is crazier, but at the same time, I'd rather raise little entrepreneurs, you know, with hard work ethic and that can see mommy can work from anywhere and get to be a part of it.
Rather than be a tightly wound CPA.
Or rather than missing, you know, their parents all the time. Right?
I understand. I love you. All right. You are the greatest. Thank you very much, Dana. You were so fun. I would have loved to have seen you this weekend, but I'll see you in 2 weeks.
I can't wait to see you. I'm coming as Tom Chenault +1.
Love you, baby. See you later. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Love you. I want a contact mapping shirt at A&P. Save one for me.
We're making it happen. Got one reserved for you.
All right. See you later, kid. Extra large.